Josias.
This is a mastermind brainstorm session.
This podcast is brought to you by Emotional Damage. All right, welcome everybody to the Josias Experience. I am your host, and today we're gonna be talking about personal power. I've been listening to Personal Power by Tony Robbins, and CD4 talks about goal setting. And Tony talks about in goal setting, it's very interesting because whenever you hear goal setting, if you're already a coach or if you set goals in the past, you hear a seminar about goal setting and you tell yourself, "Oh, I know that. I know I'm supposed to goal set. I know I'm supposed to state it in the positive." Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But is that helpful? Is that helpful if you're just saying that you know something and you don't actually do it? No, it's not. So today I'm just gonna start. This is a brainstorming session. Let's try to keep our answers short, unless you develop a valuable tangent. So try to keep it to a minute or two, and then unless there is like you get a source of inspiration, but not a source of clarification. Because if you're just trying to like figure out what's in your head while you're like stating something, then it's not very like productive for the rest of us. So in a brainstorming session, the first round is the clarification part. So in this part, it's permissible. We're not looking for perfect answers right now. We're just looking for ideas, general ideas, and as we go through, we're gonna be putting them all together. We're going to put them on and then find the valuable part. So what I want you to do between now and the end, I want you to start maybe taking notes. If you got a notepad, take notes of interesting things you said or insights that come to your mind. And then let's talk about that at the end. And like, let's just bring those up to the forefront. So I'll begin with some frameworks to get your brain started. You know, some of you are just waking up. Some of you are about to go to bed. So think of a planet in the outside. There's you can see the green and the white. I mean the green and the blue. On the outside, that represents your masks or like the superficiality. Then as we dive in, think if you're in a spaceship and then you dive into the planet. Now you see like people and trees and stuff. And in this ecosystem, you have like farms, you have like houses and like gardens. Like the house represents action, the garden represents like emotions, and the farm represents thoughts. If we go under the garden, under the farm, there's like a gold mine. In the gold mine, we can find like there's three parts to it too. There's the entrance, the vein of gold, and then if we follow the vein of gold, we can reach the gold reserves or the treasure. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna combine and we're gonna be looking for these gold pellets. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect dots, creating shapes. Similar to like the ancient Filipinos or the ancient the Scandinavians or the ancient Indians or the Aztecs and the Mayans, where they take these gold pieces and smelt them together to create shape and create jewelry, create beautiful pieces of art together. That's what we're gonna do today.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So personal power and goal setting. General idea. We'll start with whoever has the most pressing and bubbling idea. Let's go.
Something to say with what the first few words that you said about goal setting. There's a quote that I really love. I used it in college. Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. But if you combine those, action with vision can change the world. So what we were saying earlier, people just having goals but there's no action, because that would mean it's just a dream, basically. Vision without action is really a dream. And if you keep on doing action without vision just passes the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like literally filling time, not doing anything. And then of course, if you have a vision and the action, that can change the world. I just forgot who actually said that, but it's something that we always say when I was in student.
Action and vision. All right. Who's next?
I can jump in then. Okay. First, when it comes to like.
Oh wait. Let's take a break. Let's do introduction. Sorry. Let's do introduction.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Måns from Stockholm. I like self-development, meditate for many years, write a lot, and yeah, that's like my focus of development. Yeah, so. But when it comes to power, I do actually like this word, because like often in society people can think of it in terms of like corruption or something. Like power for me is, I think the definition of it is your power to influence reality. And when it comes to like the self, it's your own capacity to influence your own inner reality and the external. And I think the more powerful we feel, the more we can feel in control of our own destiny. We can influence the world around us to our own desire. So I do think like if you think about two stars and like one is like burning very big, like with a lot of force, and you have a smaller star. I think like I would define like power like the star that is burning with more power. For example, if you have like physical power, mental power, all these words has power after it. So like it defines the amount of force you have in something. When it comes to like goal setting, I think that is actually, you know, the capacity to hit a target in time and space, meaning you can see your causality forward. Like you can see what actions lands you in a point where you want to go. And I think this is like, you know, how to align your mind to the reality you're actually living. So yeah, I do think action is very important. At the same time as we can calculate how to get to that point, we can also program our mind, I think, to be there, to enhance the connection to it. Yeah, okay, fuck it. Someone else can go.
No, that's good. That's good.
No, that was great.
That's what she said.
Oh my gosh, Jojo.
Do I do an introduction also?
Yeah,
And then-
yeah,
Please,
absolutely.
yes, Toni.
I was thinking, how do I introduce myself? Hi, I'm Toni. I am from the Philippines. I would like to describe myself as a disruptor. If I'm gonna remove, because normally if you introduce yourself, you're saying your entire resume or LinkedIn profile. But in my training, I start talking about identity, and the identity would be disruptor, and it all makes sense because that's how people experience me. I thought I was just being menace, but really I like questioning things. I disrupt thought processes.
Yeah.
So, well, I am an educator by profession. I work in the curriculum and industry and also ed tech industry. But at the same time, I also have psychology background. That's why I also do life and performance coaching. So what else? I'm trying to think of an introduction that's not in my resume. But that's basically it. I would call myself as a disruptor. And if I was gonna put it in a metaphor, it's kind of like Scarlet Witch or Elsa in Frozen. There's so much power and they have power, but society kind of like temper it down because they're afraid of that power. But the moment they started learning that they were created, one, the Maximus, she was a Scarlet Witch, then that's when they embraced their power and just were living their authentic self. So that's who I would associate myself with, Elsa and also Jean Grey of X-Men. Like people are afraid of their power, but once they embrace it, they could like literally change the world. So that's how I've journeyed myself in terms of power. And one of the things is power used to be loud. A common thing of power is like you have to dominate, you have to take over, you have to be like super noticed. What I'm learning is power can also be silent. Like, and you know that moment, like if you walk into a room and you're just silent, there's a certain energy that people would be like the presence that you bring. So that's another definition of power that I am trying to like emulate also, that there's silence and power. Coming from the education industry, like I'm very talkative by nature, but at the same time,
Really?
in coaching, you have to be a good listener. So, like, so that's the shift that I'm trying to balance.
I did not notice. I did not.
Yeah, that's why I said, yeah, I didn't, when Joe invited me, I was even, like, at some point, I was starting to be like skeptical about, wasn't skeptical at first, but I said yes to Joe, but at the same time, after saying yes, I'm like, he didn't even tell me if it is a legit podcast, does this exist? Like, he just invited me and then I said yes, because I what's the topic are we going to talk about? But I'm very confident any topic, yeah, I know that I'm
Beautiful. Okay.
So yeah, that's how I would
So
describe.
I see where your Achilles heel is learning to silence yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, after a certain momentum, you get a little momentum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be like that, but I learned that for me, talking a lot is actually, it takes away energy. So like when I've given energy, I want to just make it sharp and clear and then shut up. Because if I keep talking just because like I want to clarify something, it usually makes me sound dumber. So, you know?
Yeah, the balance.
Yeah, because you're not like, you don't know everything. So let's say for example, like I don't know everything. So whenever I'm talking, I'm in my personal power when I respond with something that I I feel that I have a very deep, very, very, very deep knowledge of, or very like deep feeling about. But then if I just like right now, like I'm just like doing a lot of filler words, and that's happening because like I'm just like
You're not
trying to
talking.
keep talking, where
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway,
Yes.
let's go
Yeah,
to
that is exactly. I mean, I guess it's because I'm in the education industry. I mean, when you're
wait. Well, let's go to Danielle.
yeah, we're
Thank you,
talking. Okay, yeah.
thank you, Tony. Let's go to
Oh,
Danielle.
thanks, Tony. No,
Yeah.
I love hearing you guys like you come from. The question is about goal setting and power, right?
Mhm.
No, introduce yourself first.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah. I'm like in it. So hold on. Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Danielle. I am the attraction mentor. So I help people I help find their unique selling point, what makes them uniquely attractive so they can attract more money and attract love. And what else can I say? Oh, okay. So there's a lot of things that came up as I was hearing you guys explain goal setting and power. And this is part of how I'm introducing myself. So it had me thinking of the times where I used to work as an exotic dancer for 7 years. And that gave me a lot of experience in learning power dynamics. And, before I even went into the industry, I was a socially awkward girl who didn't know how to talk to anybody. Like I had no idea how to seduce, but I learned over time and became the top earner of the club. So with that being said, I think about how when I would teach the girls to make more money, the most common problem I saw is that they didn't set any goals. They were just relying on their looks. They were relying on their luck. And they were just like, oh, I'm just going to change outfits. Maybe it's going to change my percentage, or like it's going to change things. And I would chuckle inside because I'm thinking, man, I wish you guys just really were more present with the people that you talk to, because that's how you increase your sales. We talked about active listening. And there's such a difference. I remember the girls would be so confused as to why I was the only one in there who would never drink alcohol or never took cocaine with them. They're like, how does this girl do it sober? In my mind, you can't underestimate the mind of a sober mind. I like to be in control when I'm having conversations with the clients, and there's something I was going with this. I hate when my train of thought goes elsewhere.
Top earner, love it.
What was that? Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's how it became easy for me to grow my coaching business, because the women always saw that I was constantly getting VIP dances. I stayed on my lane, Again, it goes to power and oh yeah, okay. Goal setting. The girls were not only confused that I would go in there sober, they were wondering how I had this drive to just keep going, even though I got rejected several times. A lot of times they don't even know I get rejected. I just know how to play it off like I'm still good. And what drives me is because I have those goals. And that's why setting goals is so powerful. For example, if I'm trying to make, I don't know, like 8 or 10K a month, it's like, oh, I just need to make $300 or $469 a night. So if the girls, I notice it changes when the girls have that kind of goal in mind, they move different. And I know like that's for me too. So yeah, that's what I want to share as far as like introducing myself.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So Tony talks about in his video that, or in his program, that like the goal, what a goal does when you set it, it gives you the perspective that you will it makes you uncomfortable to stay where you are, because it gives you like a dissonance of having the thing that you want and being in that place. This is where I want to be. And then gives you the perspective that you're not there. So that's like one of the first things that, like in goal setting, it's like whenever you set it, you gotta actually set it with like personal power. Like you gotta set it with a perspective or like a place that you gotta come from that feels like they need to get there. Not just like, oh well, this is just my goal and maybe
Right.
I'll make it happen, right? Like
that pain point.
You need
There's
to-
that gap and that urgency to like get there. Yeah.
exactly. So let's go to Meenakshi to speak about the pain point.
Hello. Yes, my name is Meenakshi Gautam, and I am a keynote speaker and upcoming author. And majorly, I do self-discovery coaching through yoga and breathwork and meditative practices. Also, I combine neuroscience and psychology with my practices, if required, NLP.
Mhm.
So about the goal setting, Somebody asked me this question just today, that how do you know that people are ready for self-discovery? So what I could gauge from that a person is ready for self-discovery if they have their ideal goal. If I have my ideal personality and this is my actual self, then only I'll be ready to take this journey. It's like I want to travel. I've just booked the ticket, but I don't know the final destination. I don't know which ticket to book. It's like every plane I would like to board, every train I would like to take, every bus. And that's what exactly distraction is today. That's why it is creating so much chaos, because we have a lot of options. Previously, there were like just a couple of career choices, pretty much set things that you could do. Now there are a lot of choices. Plus, there are so many distractions, which is why it is more important now to stay focused on the goals that we set in the first place. There are a lot of people who know that goal setting is important, but I have to go from point A to point B. But if during this journey, if I forget that I have to go to point B and I just keep walking somewhere, I'll be roaming around. I will never reach point B. So along with goal settings, I have to make sure that I stay focused, remove all the distractions, because a lot of people I see why they are not able to reach their ideal goal, because they don't even remember what was the goal they have set. So keep reminding yourself, which is why it's not just the goal that we set. We actually need to kind of visualize that goal. How does that exactly look? How does it feel? How does it smell like? What exactly it's visualization. If you can name your goal, if you can see it, which is why vision boards work best, because it is kind of impersonation of your goals. You can see it right in front of you every time, so that you remember your goal. So that's my take on it.
Wow, thank you, Meenakshi, for bringing it all together. Thank you, Toni, for starting it, and then Meenakshi just brought it all together, and then Måns and Danielle like made up like the arms.
Okay, so what's gonna happen next?
So here's what we got so far. So I want you guys to start using the chat now to write down any thoughts that you have, so that way we can all think together. In this
Okay.
mastermind, we can all think together. So I say, if you say something, an insight, I can either go to you next, or like the next person can use that and like feed off of that for what they're saying. Maybe it aligns with what they're saying. So let's start using the chat. Here are some great ideas that I gathered so far from what you guys said. So first, personal power. Måns mentioned aligning power with reality. Toni talked about action and vision, and I think Måns talked about controlling your own destiny. Somebody introduce your identity. Who was that? Introducing your identity. And then identity disruptor. That was Toni. Let me see what else. Top earner. Oh yeah, top earner. At the strip club. Yo, that's fire. We got a top earner over here. Damn. Okay, and then so we definitely want to hit on that top earning. How do you know that you are ready for self-discovery, Meenakshi? How do you know? That's the first line that really hit me hard, like in the conversation. I was like, damn, okay. And then from there, I got this insight. It's like mental fitness. Everybody's talking about mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. What about mental fitness? What about like
Grit.
developing a strength, developing the muscle of
Discipline.
thinking positive? What about the muscle of thinking and visualizing for the future that you want? What about, fitness? Like just like you go to the gym and then you do push-ups and sit-ups and all this stuff and running. Like you should be able to do a similar type of repetitions and sets for your brain, for your mind, for your positivity. And then so many choices that we have today, Meenakshi. Name your goal to see it. Reaching point B from point A. I love visuals. So if you guys have visuals and analogies to interpret what we're saying, that's the best thing, because what we can do here when we're talking, we can actually visualize together. And this is one of the most powerful things that I like doing. It's like we have this analogy that we use about the mind palette that comes from Sherlock Holmes. Like Måns has been there, and Meenakshi has seen this before, and I talked to Danielle about it too. We're like, think about, and then I'll do a quick example for Toni. So Toni, imagine your childhood bedroom.
Okay.
Okay, now imagine a framework from your coaching or something that you're learning right now that you like clearly envision that. Just think about a framework that you're learning, or like just concept or something that really caught your eye this week.
Okay.
Okay, now take that, associate it with a picture that would help you to remember it. It could be a cartoon, it could be like just anything that would associate with that framework.
Okay.
Okay, now take that, the picture and the framework, and put it in your bedroom, the childhood room. Do you see
So
it?
it's like anchoring the framework with that
Exactly. You're
picture.
anchoring it in the memory that you already have of your bedroom when you were growing
Mm-hmm.
up because it's a clear picture. Do you have it? Do you see it in the bedroom? Do you see the framework? Do you see the picture? Take the picture and put it in your bedroom and put it on a shelf or put it on your dresser or on your bed.
Okay.
That's the mind palette. You can take anything that you're learning and save it into a file in your memory,
Mm-hmm.
and it's clear. It's super powerful. And this comes from a Roman technique called Loki that stands for location. 'Cause you can take locations in your mind. For example, like the beach is that way, and then the highway is over here. In between them, there's landmarks. Each one of those landmarks, I can easily visualize. You guys can do this in your city, and each one of those landmarks are files. In each one of those files, I can save stuff onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So as an educator, like this is amazing. Like this is something great. So okay, so based on these ideas that we have, the next layer that we're gonna do is we're gonna take the things we already talked about, and
Mm-hmm.
let's see if we can add to them. Let's see if we can add to them. Let's see if we can reinforce it. Let's see if we can like shape them,
Mm-hmm.
mold them.
Okay.
Where can we go from here? Let's go to Toni for this next part.
Yeah, I shared in the chat. We were talking about how some people stop doing their goals or do not take action. It could be because their why is not deep enough. Like in the surface, like in coaching, most of the time, the first thing that they would say is not really what they actually want to do. And after a while of conversing with them, they'd realize they actually want something else. So it's always asking, why is it important to you? And what would happen if you already got it? It's really unpacking the real why. Because if they have a deep purpose, then based from experience, they would really have like there won't be any obstacles anymore because they know what their purpose is. So it's not much about external validation or because it's my society's expectation. So that's one of my personal experiences when it comes to goal setting, that if the coachee or the student does not want to do it, we would just revisit the goal. Maybe this is not the goal that you actually want. So that's something that I would add in the vision and action. If there's no action, then maybe it's the goal that needs to be unpacked further.
Okay, let's go to Danielle. Says it reminds me of.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand with what Toni is talking about. Reminds me of give them the illusion of what they want, but give them what they actually need. I find that to be very effective when I'm coaching people.
Yeah,
It makes them less resistant also, no? Right.
Why is it important? Why is it not deep enough? Why is it important enough? I was talking with Danielle yesterday. We were talking about this. I was like, do you have a why that makes you cry? That makes you like sentimental? That makes you like really like? And in network marketing, they always say this: your why has to make you cry, but nobody really understands it really because if they had a why that made them cry, they would be making $1 million a year.
Right.
Like, but they keep repeating this. Hey, what is your why? Your why has to make you cry. But like, let's really go deep into this because like I need this too. Like, like the why has to make you cry, and it's when the why matters to you so much that it would actually get you sad and angry and emotional if you don't take the steps necessary to do it. I'll give you an example. Like whenever I'm running out of gas and I'm broke, I know I need gas to move. I know I need to put gas in my car. I probably won't put gas in the car until I need to put gas in the car, and then I fill it up. But what if I need to put gas in the car and then I don't have any money? I need to make some fucking money so I can put some gas in the car. And that's necessary, and then that will jumpstart me to go out and do the thing that I need to do to go put gas in the car. And it gets difficult sometimes if you have no gas in the car, no money, and then for example in sales, like it would take like a week or two to get paid on a sale. Then it's like, well, I need the gas to make the sale, and this is why good habits are important. Where like you need to at least have enough money saved so that you can cover your expenses to make the sale, so then you can then like go out there and do the work that you need to do. So
you know what that makes me think of? I hear a lot of stories of people who became really good at sales because they got into the hospital bed, like they can't move. It's like, imagine that as your painful why. It's like, man, I can't move anymore and I am broke. And I think of this athlete that shared his story about that. He's like, his health is declining. He's used to being very fit, right? But he mastered sales because he was eager to do something from bed. Like he just hates that losing feeling. It's really interesting how your painful, the why that makes you cry really moves you.
Yes, I was telling Danielle yesterday that for most of my existence, all I cared about was like just meeting women and like that's it. And then I got to the point like at the beginning of this year or last year that I was like, I need to find hobbies that have nothing to do with women because then that would actually make me happy if I don't have a woman, for example. So as a single guy, that's important. I need to be happy by myself. And if I'm needing the attention of a woman to feel happy and good, then that's not healthy because then I'm constantly gonna find, and it's also not attractive. Like if I'm gonna go out and like talk to somebody, a woman, she's if she's like emotionally mature, she's gonna feel that I need her attention and I need her to validate me.
Mm.
And then I ran into that a bunch of times, so that's why I started doing that. Måns, what do you think about this? Måns is a fellow. He shares my attractive my he shares my proclivity to and my so what do you
Yeah, I met Josiah down in Krakow and we did do pickup actually. That was how we met. Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So what do you
But that,
think, Mons? What could we add to
Fine.
this, like from our perspective, as guys who have been good at the game, but we realize that we need things outside of women to keep us, happy and make us awesome.
I do think like, if you do like this too much or like you get out of like balance, I think it will have a negative effect. For example, if you meet women all the time, you sleep out, you don't have your health or your purpose, I think you will definitely like decline and you will also lose like your inner vitality because like I think like you need a purpose. Of course, this can be connected to the purpose, but I think you need to drive something else. And if you overdo something, I think you will lose that balance actually in life. So I do think it's a good skill, to talk with a lot of people and to challenge, to approach that can develop you a lot. But I do think like, as with everything, you need to do it in balance. But yeah, it was fun when Josiah actually where we did it, I started to do it a lot when I came home, and that's changed my trajectory some.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Meenakshi, what is it for women? What, like, for example, like, do you guys think the same way about men? Or what is it for you that is an unhealthy, maybe like an unhealthy thing that, well, it's something that you do that is unhealthy when you overdo it, that could be a healthy or it could be a good thing because finding a mate is important. But if you like overdo it or do it in the wrong way, it's not a healthy habit.
Yep,
Who's saying
that
that?
is so true. Overdoing something, it's not a healthy habit because it also drains that all the joy that you can have. For example, if I have a big bag of chocolates and I eat it all today, not only I'll be fat, I'll lose all the cravings for chocolate in near future.
Oh, it's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy. As I'm eating chocolate granola right now in my yogurt.
Oh my God, I knew you were eating something.
So it's overdoing something is exactly like that. If you have seen how people become drug addicts, it's like they start with small doses and then they keep on increasing, and there comes a time where drug don't affect them. So which is why they're looking always for a different drug. So it's not about being attracted by a man or a woman. It's more about what you're receiving when you are feeling that attraction, when you are feeling that you have won the attention. It's just the hormones going in your brain. For female, it's more like oxytocin. For men, it's mostly testosterone and dopamine. So we are actually not chasing men or women. We are chasing those hormones. And if you switch the places from where you're getting it, that's a game changer. Also, opposite true as well. If somebody is not interested in men and women and they're too much focused on their work, they're driving dopamine from getting success at work, at some point of time, that's going to feel empty as well. So both are important. The balance between your relationships as well as your work, that creates a balance where you can draw all the hormones in healthy way. And the key is the delayed gratification.
Yes.
The longer you will tell your brain, the more rewarding it is and more pleasure you will be able to draw from your hormonal drive.
Delayed
That's
gratification. Yeah, it's a skill like that's and that I think that combines perfectly with what I said earlier, which is like doing reps and sets at the gym.
Yes.
Mind. That's how you do it. The delayed gratification. I think if you abstain from something that you really want to do, maybe you give into it, but then like, okay, let me just wait like a day. Let me abstain myself for an hour, then two, then a day, then two, then a week, then two, then a month, then two, like, and then like, but you reward yourself along the way. I think that's
Yes.
super effective. Okay.
Yeah. And also, there was a very interesting experiment done on kids as old as 5 years, just to see whether they'll be able to graduate their high school or not. So they just did one simple experiment. They gave kids one chocolate and they asked them, if you do, I will be right back in an hour. If you don't eat it, I'll come and give you two. So there were few kids who distracted themselves. They started playing, talking, dancing, and they waited until the person comes back. And some of the kids, they ate the chocolate. And this test was predicted like almost with 99% accuracy who graduated. And it just tells one thing: people who believe in delayed gratification, that's how they will be able to work harder to achieve their goals. Even though it's not immediate success, graduation does take almost 12 months or 8 months or 9 months, however long it is in your country. But that's exactly what delayed gratification is, when you're working towards a goal that you're going to achieve in a year.
Yeah, because we all know things are pleasurable, like you said, chocolate, I'm saying, like sexual pleasure and things like that. But if we do these things without some sort of effort that furthers our like humanity or existence or success or achievement, then these things can become like they can make us like even more numb, like just really like, I don't know, it's like you just become fat and ugly, and because like you're not trying to live. And I think a good example of this is like in an ancient Indian tribe. Think about an ancient Indian tribe. If you're not useful to the tribe, then you either get kicked out or you die, because you're like, you need to be useful to the group of people that you're around. Otherwise, and then what would happen to these people is like, if they get hurt or something and they're not useful, they will get really depressed because they can't help their tribe, so they'll be like, oh, like, and then but today though, we have such a different mindset in the world, which is like, yo, I just want to do what I want. I want to feel good and just so super hedonistic. Why is that? How does that relate? Because if we had that mindset of like, like the tribal mindset where we have to contribute to the tribe that we're in, I think everybody will be so much better off. So what are you contributing to your tribe, and why is that important to them?
I think it still have two answers. I mean, I would have still two answers to it. The previously how tribe was made, it was to ensure, because we, if I talk about Indians, we were in scarcity. There were droughts coming, famines. We did not have homes like this. It was like we were roaming around in jungle. So to make sure that we are able to utilize our resources to the fullest, which is why we had this system of society and tribes, where when you work collectively towards one purpose, gathering food, you can share resources as well as responsibilities. But the modern society is opposite. If you're doing something good that you feel good about, probably something that you can excel at, and somebody who hasn't achieved it, they're quick to judge and criticize, which is why a lot of people feel that they are not being true to themselves. They are rather living their life for a social proof, because society approved this. If you are not doing this, you are doing this, you are excluded from tribe already. So it's not me who's choosing to abandon my tribe, but my tribe has already abandoned me, because I am divorced, I am a single woman at 35, I don't have kids at 35. That doesn't follow the societal structure already.
Oh my God, you are useless.
Exactly. You are not a good woman. You're not even a woman. A woman should get settled by 25, but 30 should have kids, at least 2.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, we don't accept you.
We are the rejects here. The 30 something.
The misfits.
So the last, so it's the last resort that I have is to make sure that I show people like myself, no, I am much more capable than you think. The labels that you put on me, no, if I can do it, somebody who wants to reject the society and still want to fulfill their own desires and dreams, still being able to live up to the higher purpose, not just myself, not just kids, family, and just survive. I can thrive. I can contribute towards a greater purpose. We have wars going on. We have a lot of other issues like climate change, vegan or not non-vegetarian diet, and political issue, recession, economy. If I'm just concerned about, oh, she's not married at 35, who will think about these issues?
Damn it, Meenakshi! Why must you be such an underachiever? You need to be married. Listen, I advocate to bring back arranged marriages now.
Hey.
All the best to you. You should be the one who should have
You'd be the arranged. You'd be arranged to Meenakshi. Would you like?
Oh,
You'd
definitely.
be the one who'd be arranged. You'd be stuck together.
I wonder. This was funny. I was talking to somebody yesterday, a very attractive girl, and then she was telling me that oh well, I don't really try. She's like, I'm like, how do you make money? She's like, well, I just wait to people to ask me what I do, and then I tell them, and then if they want to get my coaching, then I give them my coaching. And I'm like, okay, you live in an interesting world. This is pretty privileged. This is like, and then I told her, I was trying to explain to her how I don't have that. So like, because I told her she used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and then she used to knock doors. So I was like, yo, like if you ever want to do this, like you can make a lot of money because you're trained as a door-to-door person, as a JW. So like we can make a lot of money. And then she's like, whenever I make the most money, it's when I don't really try. And I'm like, okay. I was like, tell me more. And then she's like, yeah, she's like, well, I just show up and like I don't really sell, like, whenever I get a mentor and I do what they tell me, like, I usually don't get the results. I'm like, okay, well maybe like the results can be indirect because maybe like you're doing something and you're focusing on something and then you're indirectly getting rewarded by the work that you did. And she's like, no, I don't think so. I think that like, and then so I started trying to dig deeper because she's usually probably not really thinking deeply, or maybe even had to think very deeply because of her situation. So I dug deeper, and it seems like she's just a pretty girl, and then she shows up to these things, events and stuff, and then like guys will ask her what she does because she's pretty. And then I was like, the reason why guys are asking you what you do is because you're a pretty girl. And she's like, no, I don't think of it like that. I don't. And I'm like, okay. All right, just entertain me for a second. I know you're not gonna believe it, but just entertain me for a second. And I said, okay, whenever you talk to these guys or these women, are you the person who initiates a conversation, or are they the ones that come up to you and talk to you first? And then to my surprise, she's not the one initiating the conversation. So she's a pretty girl who guys come up to her all the time because we're talking about advertising and marketing. So then like her look and the way she dresses is her marketing. That's all she needs because she's pretty. Most of us don't have that advantage. Like me and Måns have to go up to girls, have to go up to people. We have to actually like put in the effort to put ourselves known and like put our best foot forward and like our voice, work on our voice, work on our approach, work on our pitch, all these things, or we won't get any action. In money.
That's not true. We all came to your podcast.
Yes, because
You know who invited me, so
I invited everybody.
I can confirm.
I invited everybody. I've been trying to get Måns to join me on this for like 4 months, even longer, so. And Danielle, it's been a couple of months already since I've been inviting her on here, and she had a job, so she couldn't make it. She would have made it before. And Meenakshi, like, I think I invited you from Facebook, I think.
Yeah, just once.
Yeah, I did all this work. What you talk? I did all this work. I've been. You know what I mean? And here's the result of probably hundreds and thousands of people that I've invited, where I finally this has been going on for over a year. It's been over a year of work. If I was a pretty girl, I wouldn't need to do this much work.
You're a pretty man, Joe, which is why ladies join you without saying no.
It's still not the same.
Imagine Josephine.
That's true, that pretty girls can have money easy. They can go modeling and everyone, or for that matter, if they post any random video or Instagram, they will have instant followers. But also the truth is, prettiness attract a lot of problem than doing good.
Yeah,
There's a
and that
dark side
reminds
to
me,
pretty privilege too.
and that reminds me of like something she said, which is valuable. You know, there's not a lot of things she said which were. I'm just playing. That she was great. With her belief system was this. It's like, oh well, I don't have to put in the effort because it's all about the energy. And I told her, hey, look, that certainly has value. That certainly has a place. Because if you are pretty but have shitty energy, you will attract shitty people to you, and they wouldn't be buying her coaching and stuff. Like it would.
Right.
So the energies. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the energy, because somebody, if I put in my best foot forward and my best energy, and then she put on her worst energy, I could probably beat her. We actually talked about this, where we would do this competition next year, and then we would go to a coffee shop or to a conference, and then I had this example where I would stand on one spot, and then she would start on one spot, and I told her, I bet like we will do an experiment of how many people come up to you and how many people come up to me, and I'll even put money on this right now. I was like, do you want to put money on it? And she didn't want to put any money on it, but she still disagreed that more people will come up to you than to me just because you're a pretty girl. And then she's like, well, I don't agree with that. And I'm like, okay, let's do the experiment. And I'm willing to do this experiment with any pretty girl. But then she suggested this. She said, okay, we'll do the experiment, but let's also try it this way, where I put in my worst energy and you put on your best energy. So with that, let's talk about that. Like, what happens when a not so good looking person puts forth their best energy? What's possible? And because I've done this before, where I've actually been able to win women from better looking guys, taller, better looking men, because of my energy and my skill with language. So let's talk about that. Energy. Go ahead, Toni.
I can, okay, like covered a lot of stuff already, but common sense would say that, of course, the best foot forward would attract more of the opposite sex, but I want to pull something from experience. So right now, an example that I would probably like to start with was, I haven't mentioned in my introduction that I actually joined the beauty pageant 2 years ago. So pageants is the thing in the Philippines. The thing is, I'm not actually into pageantry because I'm in an academe. So I'm known for like, books and just studying and a master's and everything. So when I decided to join that, everyone was like, 'cause there's a stereotype. Like if you're in the pageant, you're just like, standing pretty and seeking validation and all that stuff. So I totally surprised everyone. And I wasn't the type of girl who actually wore, I don't wear heels. I was like totally a nerd type of course you would see different pictures right now because it's post pageant, but before I was like really I would be the last person. And what I told them was, I'm gonna join this. I have no idea of what I'm doing, but I only have the confidence. And I felt that I was the turtle in the race because I was competing with people who, had years of training and stuff. And I only had that confidence. Because apart that I'm competitive, I'm very competitive, I had a deeper why. And my coming from was not validation. My coming from was, I want to experience this. I'm joining because I'm already worthy. I have the self-esteem compared to the majority of girls who join. They want the crown to feel confident. I was just really enjoying everything, and I was not seeking for any validation. Eventually, people I guess saw that because in the end I won. I wasn't there for, and that's the feedback I got from the audience, because there were really like other pretty girls who like didn't put any effort because they were so confident that, hey, I'm gonna win. That's just Toni. Look at her. And I was like, I was in 100%. Like I got coaches and everything. So that's why if you knew before, my friends would be like, that's a transformation. And with the discipline of the fitness, there would be pizza in front of me. I would really pack fruits. I was that determined. My purpose was really tea. In parties, I would bring bananas and like, no, I won't. I will just socialize there. I won't eat chocolates. And my diet completely changed. Not because I wanted to be skinny, but the purpose there was really like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it 100%, not just for the experience. Because I'm not gonna put myself out there just for, to half-ass it. And yeah, I think that's it. The feedback that I got from the audience, it was like I was just standing out because I was having fun as compared to being pressured. Like, oh shit, when am I gonna? No, those heels are like 6.5 inches, and I don't know exactly how they felt. But in me, I just was really there 100% because what they said is they felt that they were just like men, like normal girl. And I think they saw that I was really enjoying it because I did not need to prove myself. Because that's what I said. I'm joining here not for the validation. I already know that I'm pretty. I don't need a title. And I try to always anchor my memory there that every time I'm gonna do something and I fear the judgment of people, I would always remember that memory that, hey, shit. Oh, am I supposed to say sorry? I mean... Yeah, I don't know the rules here. I always anchor that no one even believed me. No one even supported me in the beginning when I decided to join because they were really like, Toni, are you serious? I mean, you're not the kind of girl like who would like pageant. And I would always remind myself that in the beginning, maybe people won't believe you, but if you believe in yourself so much, suddenly they'll change your mind. And now everyone calls me queen, and I love it. Like I embrace it. Okay, I'm a queen, and that's something that I would share.
Go diva. Okay, go diva.
Yeah.
Go.
Let's
It's
go.
queen, not diva.
Let's go, queen. All right, let's
Yeah,
go.
that was if you've seen my pictures before, you wouldn't even like know. But yeah, that's the energy and feeling that I would testify that I'm speechless about it because I didn't go there
Clearly
to
not speechless about it. Clearly.
No, I mean I can put in the words. I feel it. Like I really feel it. Like I was very competitive. But
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's go to somebody else who wears 6-inch heels and okay. She can teach anybody here how to click them heels too.
Clip them heels. Whoa.
like Dorothy from
We just heard of a glow up from a dork to a beauty pageant.
Hey, I was not a dork.
Hey, I was a dork before going in the industry too.
Now let's hear from a tomboy to the top earning stripper in the club. Like
right, yeah. Yeah, I was a tomboy. It's crazy. I didn't know what femininity was at the time. I had to learn how to walk in heels. I had to learn to come across more dainty because I was rough around the edges. So yeah, it's crazy. But energy is a huge thing. I actually wrote a whole post on this recently because energy is around, I have a firm belief, the more problems you confront in your life and resolve head on, the more big your energy is. I can feel it when I'm talking to clients or just anyone in general. I can feel it when they're hiding things. And when they're hiding things, they show signs of like insecurity, like they're overplaying with their hair, they're constantly hiding things, and it's just really interesting what energy does. It even changes the trajectory of your voice when you talk, You can tell when someone speaks with conviction or again, if someone's hiding something. But there's a lot of things that I witnessed in the club. That's how I know a lot about energy and different techniques people use when it comes to seduction. It's really fascinating to me. Like I've seen beautiful, gorgeous women in the club be so in their head, and not only be in their head, but there's that sense of entitlement. They think the guys are just going to come up to them, and sure, they're used to that. But I see women that are pregnant. You wouldn't think they'd make money in there. They make the most money in that night because they're relentless. Like they knew how to be super charming and really be out and socialize with the men. So yeah, that's my take on how energy is huge. I say when it comes to attractiveness, 20% of it is looks because the looks will get people in the door.
And you don't even have to wear protection because I'm just like, go ahead.
No, no, Jojo. Oh my goodness.
Tell us about that. No, I'm just
Oh, wow. Oh, but I was saying 20% is looks because it only gets you to the door. 80% is energy. You hook them longer when you have a
Yeah.
powerful energy.
Okay, looks, energy. Mons, tell us about skill. How does that go into it? Because you said 20, 80, 20, but I'm thinking skill has something to do with it too.
Yeah, I do think like skill have a lot to it. Like if you specifically talk about, game with the girl, I guess like, you need to be able to have like social intelligence and also, go for like escalate or communicate. And I think also like when it comes to energy, we also have to like every people we know like activates different energies in us. And I think like if you can learn to like activate the energies that they like about themselves or get to know them more, you can also read them better and how to communicate. I think like that has to do a lot. Like maybe sometimes if you're only in your mind in a situation, you can like be disconnected to the person and it doesn't feel like natural, I guess. I do think like, looks can be like affect like the surface, but when you get like into like the long-term game, I think energy affects more. And also like even if I would meet like a very hot girl, I would probably not like to be around her a lot if she has shitty energy, because then I would be affected negatively, and in the long run it wouldn't benefits me in my development, and like I would probably get in conflict there. So I do think energy is way more important. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so here's a process, cool process. So energy, how do you create it? How do you maintain it? How do you grow it? Meenakshi.
How do we create it and how do we grow it? It's all about how much do we understand our energies. So first of all, male and female both are different, how they think and what kind of energy they are looking for. Men are more visual creatures, okay? They get easily attracted by something beautiful, but every man will have their definition of beauty again, different. Somebody would like petite, cylinder girls, attractive. Somebody would go for more curvy ones. It's completely about something which can give them a visual pleasure, and then after they have interacted, after they have had conversation with a girl, that's when they can gauge the energy. Maybe it's positivity, maybe it's unconditional love, or it's authenticity that they like. And to understand that energy, I have to be open first. In order to understand somebody's energy, I have to be open, like my heart chakra should be open. I should be able to receive, ready to receive and give that energy. Otherwise, if I am blocking myself in receiving somebody's energy, I won't be able to feel it. All I would absorb is negativity. On the other hand, females are more into logical thinking when they are looking at a man, and they will try to find a context. For example, Joe, if you want to win that challenge that how many female approach you, what you can do is just dress up in a nice suit, maybe rent a Ferrari, wear some bling rings. Most certainly you will attract more females. Why? Because the most important factor for a female to get attracted to a man first is safety. And safety is pretty much associated with money. If I am broke, if I don't have a house, where will I keep women? She's on street, definitely she'll be worried about her safety. Second thing is emotional safety. If you can actually make her feel comfortable emotionally, you're not creeping, you're not like staring at her.
Yeah.
If these two requirements are met, I think pretty much women are sorted, and there are females who, when they feel safe in close proximity of a male, they're happy to approach. Otherwise, it's always the other way around, men approaching women. But there are quite a few times, if it's a busy subway and I am directionless, I'll look for male more to ask for direction, because I don't trust females with direction, eh?
That's valid.
Yes.
I wouldn't ask me either.
Yeah.
Same. I am bad with directions as well, so I assume my unconscious.
Yes.
So I would look for a safe male. And how would I do that? Somebody who's minding his own business. And plus, if I gaze at him, he's not giving me that creep look. Okay. Yeah. Like It's like making me, yes, do you need help? That sort of energy. So for female, it's safety more. For males, it's more of authenticity and unconditional love, the energy that they want to feel around women. And also one more thing, it's not true for men, but it's true for female. If men are high on their stress hormones, if they are if they are high on cortisol level, they can induce same cortisol levels in a female, even though she's not stressed. So which is why the energy is much more important for a female than a male.
Wow.
Probably they can turn it other way around. If female have high cortisol level and men is in calm energy, they can help her lower her cortisol levels down. But it happens exactly opposite in female.
I've never heard that before. This is so fascinating.
And it's from evolution theory, because men were the protectors in the primitive society, and they would detect the threat before females could. So if men is showing signs of stress, female or kids would be stressed as well, which is why if you see the scientific studies, you can actually see kids having their father's stress gene transfer to the kids. That's how stress of a male can affect not just women but kids as well.
Wow.
There's an interesting line from what's it called? It's okay. I was telling Danielle about this the other day. So there's this guy Andrew Bustamante on YouTube. He's like he used to be a spy in the CIA, and he narrowed it down to 5 archetypes of female fantasy. These are 5 archetypes for men to be able to take on this role and be able to attract, like, pretty much take your pick, of kind of woman. Like, if they're into this, they're into it. So the first one is the mysterious man. It's like the one, like, they just can't figure out. They're just like, I just can't put my finger on it. Like, what's up with this guy? What's up with him? There's something about there's something dangerous about the way you look at me. You seem like the type who pushes people away before they get too close. You strike me as someone who leads. I wonder if you even remember how to let go. I wasn't expecting that from you. That's the mysterious man. That's the emotion. See, look, Danielle is already having, like, those feelings. The high... The second one is the high authority. So the way your mind works. That's rare. You move like you know what you're doing, and I'd be lying if I wasn't thinking about it. That explains a lot. The high authority, the guy that's in charge. The third one is the beast that is tamed. Think about any, like, vampire or werewolf movie or the Beauty and the Beast. Danielle loves this one. Like, that's probably her favorite, the beast. Especially for a stripper, they usually date.
When he broke this down, he liked my reaction to the beast. I made a huge reaction to it. So.
She did, yeah, and you can see how, like, her eyes lit up when I mentioned the beast. The
beast.
She wants the beast. So, but just think about, like, strippers. They usually date, like, gangsters.
They usually do, yeah.
They usually do. So that's the beast, like the gangster, like the powerful guy, like the dangerous guy, And then there's here are some, maybe, like, here's a safer one, the protector. The army, the cop, the firefighter. Like, that guy, those guys get a lot of action just by what they do because they're protectors.
The bouncer.
Strippers
always hate bouncers too.
The bouncer. Making minimum wage.
I like a protector.
Oh my gosh.
He makes minimum wage and still gets them. So it's not, and then on the other side, there's the powerful billionaire. Think about, like, 50 Shades of Grey. Like, why the women, like, because what Meenakshi said, safety. So, safety. And then there's this guy, Mystery, like, he was, like, the pickup artist guru in, like, the 2000s. He used to say that, like, there are 2 main attractors, and that is, like, survival and replication. So back to safety, what Meenakshi said, like, survival. What is safety good for? To survive. He will help you to survive. And then men are attracted to women for replication value. That's why we like boobs and ass and pretty things because it's replication value. Oh my God, like she's fertile. That's it tells us, like, instinctually, biologically, she's fertile. I can make babies with her.
Fertile, as well as they have got strong genetics. So somebody who has got a symmetric face, sharp eyes, it suggests strong genetics. Also, they resembles features of really strong species. Like if
Yeah.
you see a lion's face, they have got really good symmetry. So if you see a symmetric face, you automatically perceive them as strong genetics, somebody who is strong and powerful.
Yeah, someone who will survive longer because of that. Yeah.
Big eyes and sharp nose and all those facial features specifically.
Damn.
Fascinating,
Yeah.
man.
Features.
Okay.
Are you
So
gonna
we're
survive?
So we're in
Look
the
like
we're in the last 15 minutes here. So this is the last round. And what we want to do here is what can we get from the conversation? What can we
Okay.
give? What unique perspective can what we get and apply? And what perspective can we give to the people that will be watching this later? And then even furthermore, like if you were to watch this later, what would you want to hear? What reminder would you want to have that will help you in your life?
Okay.
Let's start with Toni on this.
I like what you mentioned about archetype
Mm.
because Carl Jung, the psychologist, also talks about archetype, and that's what I always remind myself whenever we talk about. I connect it with my pageantry, and after that, I'm not going back to pageantry, but what am I channeling? So instead of creating energy, it's more of channeling the energy. And what archetype do I want to channel? Maybe when I was younger, I was like a Disney princess, like damsel in distress, like, come save me. But now I realize, like, after the pageantry, I'm no longer like the damsel in distress. I'm that the energy that I'm trying to emulate is a queen.
I don't need a man. I don't need no
Yeah,
man.
well, I need a queen. I want a king, but I don't need a king, right? Compared to, the old Disney princess movies where they just cry and then knight in shining armor. So if I'm gonna read this podcast, it's all about what energy am I gonna channel? Like in my head, am I channeling warrior energy? A sitting pretty princess that cries when everything falls apart, or a hero, or it's all about the archetype and his energy is like the brand. Like, what do you want people? How do you want people to experience you?
Tie this in
Without-
because before, like when we began the conversation, you were talking about identity and the power of identity. So tie what you just said to that. Let's hear that.
The power of identity. Yeah, because I think it's in the book of Atomic Habits that if you start with identity, your behavior and actions would change, and then the results would just happen without putting too much effort. Because if you really have a core identity, that's why when I introduce myself, I'm always conscious. Am I gonna introduce myself as I work like this is my degree? But that's not who I am. That's not my identity. That's what I do. My identity is a disruptor. And when we tie it up in energy, it all makes sense when I figured out, oh, I have a disruptor energy. Because before that, I would question myself, what's wrong with me? Why do people comment? I haven't even done something, and they would talk about me. I would just like sit there, and then I would hear all these whispers. And then I figured out, oh, because I have a strong disruptor energy that it can be good, and it all can also be bad depending on if people resist me or match my vibe. And it kind of serves as a filter for me, because for me, I intimidate them. Then I'm not the kind of woman. I'm not the kind of girl that you just mentioned earlier that guys would come over me, approach, and I don't feel bad about it because it serves as my filter. Like,
well, maybe not before, but now, yeah. Like after you glow up, take the glasses off.
well,
and
before
put the
it's the
6-inch
same.
heels on.
Yeah, my contacts. It was since I was a child. I had that energy, but when I was a child, I felt something was wrong with me. Like, why aren't the boys, choosing me? I'm one of the boys, but they don't want to, court me in a way like that. It suddenly made sense when I became a life coach. Like when I had the self-awareness identity, journey, it all made sense. Then that's what when we talk about authenticity,
Yeah.
instead
Well,
of projecting.
I have one last question for you, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
As a disruptor, are you comfortable with uncomfortable things?
And that's what I constantly push myself. Like, that's why I joined the pageant. I knew it was totally in my outside the comfort zone. And that's, for me, my check-in is if I'm getting too comfortable. Then it means I need to, find something else that would be that would challenge me. I mean, that's why I joined here without asking what's this about. Is this like, what is it even real, or what are we going to talk about? I'm just really
For
exploring.
sure. And I've gotten that response where people will cancel on me just because they weren't really sure about it. But here's the beautiful part about it. I don't want them here. If they can't be comfortable enough to come to something they don't really know what it is exactly, because then they might come here with the wrong vibe. And
Yeah. Yes.
I've already done dozens of these. So I can kind of get a feel of the person that will thrive here and like that I want to be around me.
Okay.
And
I
then
have a
there are
question for you.
yeah, go ahead.
So when you messaged me, what energy did you read in our conversation from the get-go?
Queen, of course.
Okay, fine. Thank you for the validation. For the validation. Because you were keeping me in the dark. Like, what are we going to talk about? And he was like, do you like surprises? I'm like, as long as it's not scandalous. My
Yeah.
thoughts were like, maybe am I going to see a naked man? I don't know what this is. Is this legit? But,
Yes, I'm using my mysterious archetype with you.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Learn, yeah. And then you totally gave in. You're here.
And I thought this was happening next Friday. I totally like got mixed signals, and I was like, it's September 12th. It's not yet September 12th. But yeah.
So surprise, Danielle.
But
Surprise. What would be that thing for you? Like, that value that you think you either want to share or that you think you'd want to remember if you watch this again.
Okay, yeah, I just thought about this more. I know I talked about energy earlier as I'm thinking about watching again, but now I'm realizing there's something I want to contribute that I have not mentioned. And it's another thing I just posted about recently. Even though I firmly believe that 80% of attraction comes from energy, I don't want people to discount that it means that you don't put effort on your looks, because attraction is never not looks because it's part of it, right? So with that being said, if I think about what I would love to tell myself, the woman that was in her younger 20s, I would tell her like, hey, I know so many people have told you to not put effort on your looks because everyone tells you like looks don't matter. The thing is, it does get you ahead. People treat you differently when you do put effort on yourself, even if it's just basic maintenance, like just looking clean and polished. But another thing too, what I'm so grateful that I learned over time, and I wish I knew sooner, is to make the effort to make your wardrobe with only clothes that make you feel good. So that every time you go out, you don't go out scrubby and you're like, oh, I hope I don't run into someone today. Like that's never part of your reality anymore. You just always feel great when you go out. And that does something to your energy, which again, energy is a bigger part of your attraction. It'll amplify it even more. So that's what I would want to contribute if anyone that's watching this.
I like that, because then that gives a whole new perspective to like the archetypes. Like if you're like exuding, like if I'm exuding like the mysterious energy or the authority energy or the protector energy or the billionaire energy, or the beast.
There's a beast. Ooh.
I'm a fucking beast. Mans, what would this be? What would this be for you, Mons? What would this be for you? If you were to listen to this over, what's a reminder that you would send to yourself in the future if you listen to this over to your past self right now?
Like from a guy's perspective also, I think like, many of these like archetypes has like valuable characteristics, and like to connect it to like personal power that we talked before. Like for example, like this like mysterious guy, like I think like that can symbolize, depth, it can symbolize, being different, have like a more like inside than just the surface. Like, so I think like there's someone that has like more than just the surface level, and also like high authority. I think that connects to like personal power a lot, like to feel that you're in control, that your field, you have like the skills, and even like the beast, like the beast is like a symbol of like this raw fire, like the desire to get where you want to go. And like when it comes to like personal power, I think like this is like the force in you that actually executes the drive to go where you want. Like it's like this untamed like lion. It's like this primal force that gives you like the engine. So I think like this is a very good characteristics. And also like the powerful billionaire, that can also be like a powerful abundance mindset. It can give you like the programming. I also like dig at like one thing, like if you think about power, I want to think like in terms of like the opposite feeling, feeling powerless. And what does that mean? Like that basically means you are a victim of your circumstance. You have no control of your life. And I think like the feeling of power also makes you like feel closer to your vision or like your goal setting. Have you ever been in the gym or like you train and you feel like very powerful? You feel like you are closer to where you want to go than if you are like weak or you have drink and you're a hangover, then you will be weaker and much farther away. And I think like when it comes to like distance, I also think like the power aspects create a stronger connection to where you want to go, because a vision is often a stronger version of ourselves. And I think like the personal power, when we execute it, it can get us there. So I think like, many of these archetypes actually bring together some of the specifically maybe more like masculine characteristics, but power characteristics, but also like these are very good for everybody to like use. There are some, value in many of these. Yeah.
I love that, man. Like, wow, that's super powerful, bro. How you brought that together with the
Yeah.
mysterious, the energy. It means depth. It could mean depth. So it's like, what is the actual thing underlying the mysterious energy? It's actually like, oh, there's possible depth. There's more to this person that it may seem. And then you said like the authority. It's like personal power. Like you feel like you're in control. You have the skill. Very powerful. Meenakshi, if you were to listen to this over in the future, your future self is listening to this or watching this, what would you want to remind yourself?
What did you drink? Your mouth looks like you have drink poison.
It's
So
it's
green.
chlorophyll. You remember Iron Man and like he's drinking chlorophyll. Remember that? So this is
So how do you drink that? You just grinded leaves?
no, it's water. It's water.
glowing.
It's water with chlorophyll, and then it's what it makes my poop green.
Oh, thank you for letting us know.
It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. It makes plants grow. Meenakshi,
Okay.
come on, Meenakshi, come on,
He's a
Meenakshi.
contributor of Earth.
Answer the question. Stop
Yeah,
talking about my
yeah,
green
thank-
poop.
All right. Thank you very much for this question. I think I really loved how discussion went from goals to power dynamics to archetypes to
To green poop.
So if I have to put everything together, what I found in my gold mine is that goal is important. However, your energy, how you perceive your goal, how you take the route towards your goal is important as well. So in order to maintain that energy, in order to make sure that we finish our goals with the same energy like we started, we need to understand ourselves first and how the power dynamics work. And pretty much that's what we discussed about the physical appearance. So physical appearance is not everything, but it does help. If I can keep my physical appearance every time like the same person that I want to be in my future, if I want to be a successful woman, if I just dress in my business suit every day, definitely it will make me feel that energy more. The intensity will double. And also, though physical appearance is not everything, but internal energy, how do we make sure that you are distracting me, but still, I will make sure that I finish. I get to the point B.
You're supposed to be a professional, Meenakshi. This is not professional like.
I am being professional. I need to make sure that I tell you that I'm noticing you without getting distracted. I'll finish it. So, and also just to make sure that when we set our goals, we should always remember point B, because everything will come in way point C, D, E, G, F, etc. But we should remember point B. Otherwise, we will never be able to reach point B. So this is pretty much which I found in my gold mine.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
One word, one phrase, one sentence. Just one word, Toni. Just one word, one phrase, or one sentence that will summarize the Zoom session for you.
Queen.
Queen. All right.
Queen energy.
Danielle. One word, one phrase, one sentence.
Powerful.
One word, one phrase, one sentence.
Power. I do love that word also.
Power with the Swedish
Yeah.
accent. Power.
Yeah, it's a great word.
Love it. Meenakshi.
I will take home today mental fitness and work on it.
Mental fitness. Okay. Can we have the pleasure of a visualization, Meenakshi, so we can end?
Absolutely.
You guys are in for a
Awesome.
treat. I think Måns has been here, but like Danielle and Coach Toni, you're in for a treat right now. Danielle is the best visualization leader in the land. Take it away.
Wait, I'm leading the visualization?
No, Meenakshi.
Okay, all right.
You said Danielle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danielle, take us through the strip club.
I don't think you want to go there.
Okay, let's visualize everything in the strip club.
You are in the club. You just got.
Sorry, I don't even know how does that look. All right, everyone, just be here with that laughter. Enjoy. Close your eyes, sit back, relax, and wherever your mind is, bring it back here. With that, we are going to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and very slowly exhale. One more time, deep breath, inhale. Very slowly exhale from your mouth. Stay here with me with all your mind, soul. One last time, a deep breath, inhale, and very slowly exhale. Let's take a walk to our mind palace that we imagined earlier today or previous weeks. Remember your mind palace. How does that look? What colors are there? Pink, blue, peach, gold, green. Does it have a furniture, sofa, bed, or is it empty, ventilated? Does it have curtains, or just open windows, sun rays coming in? Or is it more like a digital world full of screens, or a club maybe with lights, pink, blue, glitter, sparkle? Take a walk into your mind palace and keep everything that we learned today safe there so that you can access this information whenever you like. Think about the key points that you learned. Was that about goal settings, visualizing goals, remembering your goals, name your goals, see them, impersonate them? Look at your goals right now. What is that you're going to achieve in next 6 months or in 12 months? Pick your goal. Look at it. If your goal would a person, how would you visualize that? Put a date on it, start and finish date. Think of it like a realistic person. Is your goal achievable? Can you see yourself? Can you imagine yourself achieving it? And remember what's your why you want to achieve this goal. Keep all this safe into your mind palace. Once you have visualized your goal, once you can see it, once you can imagine, once you can see yourself achieving it, bring your palms closer to your heart and press it together to your heart until you can feel it sinking into your heart. Give it all the love, all the positive energy, everything that you can give your dream, your hard work, passion, your positivity. And once you feel that you have it in your heart, open your eyes and come back to the room whenever you feel ready, not even a second before. Hello, welcome back, everyone.
Måns, do you want to add anything to this visual?
I've not done so much guided meditations for other people, but visuals.
It's all right.
I guess to enhance when you go into it, you can I don't know how good everyone is with the senses, but the more you can feel it, the more alive it becomes. And often when I do visualizations, I have earlier actually in my training, I have trained the psychic senses, you can say, separately, to be able to see clearly, feel, strongly. Some have stronger senses in different areas. I guess it can be good to, I think the feeling and the visual is very dominant in the visual capacity. Hearing, I don't know, it's very dominant, but maybe not always in the manifestation. Of course it is, but also the taste and smell maybe. But the most dominant, I would say, is probably the feeling and the visuals, in specifically there. But yeah, the stronger we can imagine it, the more power it gets, and the stronger we can have the energy in our body, the more we can reprogram our own energy to have it like a default energy. So I think like it is a process of like imprinting it into our energy until we become it, basically. So
Yeah, the reason I asked Måns that is because like he's like a really powerful meditator. So like he goes into these trips. So but all right, well thank you everybody for being a part of this. I will be making a Facebook group. We can connect in the chat if you want to connect with any other person here. And then we'll take it from there.
Thanks
Yeah.
for putting this together, Jojo.
Right.
Glad
Thank
to
you,
be
Sounds
here despite the unknowns.
Mhm.
I was really imagining, am I gonna see a naked man if I enter the Zoom? I'm gonna like leave the room immediately because Joe was really being sketchy.
I'm usually naked before. That's why I don't usually come on early. So that's I had to get dressed quicker because of you. So yeah. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you guys.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you
Bye.
all.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Almost 1 a.m. here.
This is
Bye,
a
guys.
mastermind brainstorm session. Mastermind brainstorm session. Mastermind brainstorm session. Mastermind brainstorm session. With Josias.